Now, all of those issues are important, but the one that really concerns me is the impact of fluoride on the brain. When the baby is born, the blood-brain barrier is not fully formed. In my view, this is not the time to expose the baby to 200 times the level of fluoride than in mother's milk, which is what happens if you make up baby formula with fluoridated tap water. We now have over 150 animal studies in which fluoride damages the brain. We have 3 fetal brain studies from aborted fetuses in China. They compared aborted fetuses from high fluoride areas with low fluoride areas, and they see damage to the brain. We have behavioral studies, and we have 24 IQ studies, 24 studies which now show an association between fairly modest exposure to fluoride and lowered IQ. Most of those are from China, but there's 2 from Iran, there's 1 from Mexico, and 1 from India. And when I say modest exposures, one study from China, which is particularly interesting to me because I visited the villages in China where this study was done. They looked at a village at less than 0.7 parts per million of fluoride in the well water, natural, and another village between 2.5 and 4.5. And looking at those villages, you can't see any difference. I mean, same architecture, same lifestyle, same food, same diet, same occupation, all rural farmers, the same. But a 5 to 10 IQ drop across the whole age range for kids. You can see a shift in the whole IQ, and the threshold at which this occurs based upon extrapolation from all the data is 1.9 parts per million. And I've argued, and will continue to argue, that that means there's not an adequate margin of safety to protect the whole population of children in the United States or any other fluoridated country. After all, this study was done with 300 kids. So for 300 kids, those drinking water at 1.9 or higher have a lowered IQ. Now those children are all Chinese, all more or less the same diet, etc., very similar. And when you take a known harm, when you see harm like this, and you now say, you ask the question, well, if that dose causes harm, what dose would be safe for a much larger population? We usually use a margin of safety of 10. We divide the harmful dose that we've found, divide by 10 to come up with what we think would be a safe dose for all the children. Some people argue that you need more than 10 if it's a factor affecting children because they're more sensitive. But if you assume that those kids in the study were drinking 1 liter of water, that's 1.9 milligrams. If it's 1.9 parts per million, that's 1.9 milligrams per liter. If we assume they're drinking all 1 liter each, and this is fairly robust. I mean, you could assume half a liter, 2 liters, doesn't make much difference. If you assume that they're only drinking 1 liter of water, then they each were getting 1.9 milligrams, causing lowering of IQ. Apply the safety factor, 1.9 divided by 10 is 0.19 milligrams. That's 1 glass of water in a fluoridated community. It's crazy, it's reckless, it's stupid. You can't do this. But because the Public Health Authority has promoted this in the United States for over 50 years, 60 years, it was the US Public Health Service, but now it's focused in the Center of Disease Control. They're the big promoters of fluoridation. They have waxed lyrical about this for years and years and years. They've told everybody it's safe and effective, and they just don't have what it takes to say we were wrong. And there are now dangers there. And they could throw in the fact that it's unnecessary, because if you want fluoride, use fluoridated toothpaste.